And it's now my pleasure to introduce a leader with a long record of fighting for women's equality and for the rights and dignity of all people. Mayor Eric Garcetti took personal responsibility for making sure that women's leadership at City Hall has grown in historic numbers since he took office. That's why he's the only mayor in LA history without any all-male commissions, and the first to achieve gender parity on those key appointments. That's an incredible record for the moment we're in. But let me share quickly just how ahead of the curve he's been. Now, a lot of the men have been wearing Time's Up pins on the red carpet lately. But he was an undergrad when he led the National Student Coalition Against Harassment, when he challenged more men to help take back the night. He worked in Ethiopia as a young man specifically to advance women's health and empowerment in Africa. And he has long been a force against human trafficking, a tragedy and crime that affects women across the globe. Please welcome our Mayor Eric Garcetti.
Give it up for Viola Davis, come on. Make some noise. And I am so pleased to be joined by a woman who has always broken through barriers. She is now a supervisor for the County of Los Angeles. This also is her district. The county has opened up this park. She has served as a state legislator. She served as the first Latina member of a presidential cabinet under President Obama. Please welcome also Supervisor Hilda Solis. So LA, how you doing? I'd like to give you the official report. We are 500,000 strong. 500,000 angels with our wings spread out here in this city of angels. And if I could ask you one favor, if every two of you just call one more person, we could break the record. So if you can find the bandwidth or the text width, get it done. Last year, we were the largest march in the country. This year, we are the largest march in the country. And some might not like it, but look around you. Los Angeles is the face of the world today, and sorry, Mr. President, we're the face of this country tomorrow. And we stand here on holy ground, here where first Yanga, an Indian village, and our native brothers and sisters whose survival itself is a miracle. Here on what used to be Calle Primavera, now Spring Street, which welcomed an ex-slave named Biddy Mason, who came here with her freedom and became a millionaire and founded the first AME church. We stand blocks from where women were taken from their homes, Japanese American citizens of this country, and put in internment camps. We are literally a block and a half from the biggest lynching in American history, when our Chinese brothers were hung up because of what happened in the 1880s in this city. This is holy ground we are on today. We are a city that is older than Washington, D.C., and we are ready to lead. So a year later, let us take stock of where we are, because a corner away last year I said, and as so many speakers have said, we will be judged not but by what we say today, but what we do tomorrow. So what have we done? A week after we were together, a Muslim ban came out and we went to the airport. And lawyers and activists and Angelenos said, not in our backyard. and we welcomed with love and with flowers and legal defense and a legal defense fund for immigrants, everybody who deserves to be in this country. The president tried to shut down our military to patriots who are transgendered. And I, as a proud service member, and so many of you, we said no, and we started the first big city transgender advisory commission in the history of the United States. While our so-called leader denied science, we marched for it right here. And when he got out of Paris, we didn't cry in the corner. We picked up the phone, and LA pledged to implement the Paris Climate Accords, and 391 other cities followed suit. From Hollywood sets to the halls of Sacramento, in kitchens and dining rooms of restaurants, in our high-rises here where janitors are raped, in our hotel rooms where, as you'll hear later, from a beautiful woman named Juana Melada, who, by the way, Mr. President, did make the cover as one of the People of the Year, where we fight for the rights of all of us. And this is a city you can be proud of. We'll never sugarcoat where we need to be, but yes, it's true. For the first time, of the 300 plus people who serve the commissions of this city, over 50% of them are women. Over half of the women I've appointed to be general managers and chiefs are women. Sorry, the people are women, including an African-American woman who runs your airport, a woman who ran the Department of Water and Power, the non-traditional roles, because women should be everywhere, not just somewhere. We found out, because we studied it, that girls were only 25% of the participants in our youth sports programs in our parks. And my wife, your First Lady, Amy Elaine Wakeland, and others set to it. And this last quarter, 45% of the participants were girls, because they need to be healthy, fit, and they are great athletes who will be competing here in 2028. You helped elect a woman to the city council, where now there is double, but still only two. Monica Rodriguez. That happened since last year. We have a 12-fold increase in contracts going to businesses that women own, because women need a piece of the action too with your tax dollars. But it's more than the statistics. It's the stories. It's not just the numbers, it's the people behind them. People like Patricia Allen, an African-American woman who served time, and when she got out of prison with a Black Workers Center, and with your vote for Measure M and the Crenshaw line, she got to go to work as a laborer to cut traffic, create jobs, and to work blocks away from where she is. And when her 17-year-old son goes and visits her, and she's not back in prison, she's here working on a line to help all of us, he can be proud of his mother and the work she's doing. Talia in Lender, a lawyer who was there herself, the grandchild of refugees to this country, helping the next generation of refugees to come in here. Eileen Garcia, who had a child when she was in high school here in Hollywood and was ready to drop out, till the collective work of this city said, you won't drop out, we will lift you up, and she's at UCLA this year. Our strength is strong, and let me say something, if I may, for a moment, to the men and boys. And thank you all for being here. This must be your cause too. There's no right time to do the wrong thing, and there's no wrong time to do the right thing. If you have power, share it. If you see injustice, fix it. Don't be a bystander, be a participant. Stop dismissing locker room talk. It ain't locker room talk. And even to our allies, don't keep saying you do this because you have a daughter or a mother. We all come from a mother. Do it for yourselves. Do it because you believe the economic prosperity of our city and our nation and our world come when half of our population is earning money that is equal to everyone else, starting businesses at the same pace as everyone else. If you believe in the safety of our streets, do it for the safety of our streets, because 92% of the women in prison who will come back and commit crime are the survivors of sexual and/or domestic violence. If you want to join with us to end homelessness, do it for that, because 90% of the women on our streets are also the victims of sexual and/or domestic violence. Do it to save lives and our planets, because we need girls to become doctors and inventors. We need their brilliance to be in this world. So men, make this your movement. To close, let me say this. We have a politics defined right now by what people want to take away. The Republicans in Congress, this president, want to take our health care, our voting rights, our civil rights, our reproductive rights, our environmental protections, our coastline. But we define ourselves not by what we take, we define ourselves by what we give. The Women's March should be the foundation to remind us that we are part of the politics of addition and multiplication, not the odious words that we hear out of Washington of division and subtraction. We won't take what you take anymore, and if you keep taking from us, this year we're going to give you the boot. Those members of Congress who want to take our health care, you're out of here. You want to take our coastline, you're out of here. And from Virginia to Alabama, from New Jersey and beyond, we are the tide that is shifting this country. Mr. President, you may know how to shut things down, but we know how to light them up. Mr. President, you got your tweets, but we own these streets. I see a better day, I see a brighter day, I see a more beautiful day. Thank you, Women's March LA.